Hey everyone, History Mystery Man here, coming to you today from the 4th level spotters deck at Salem Speedway here in Salem, Indiana, which has been my home for the last 8 months. And if anyone out there is in the running for the award for social distancing and quarantining, I want to be on that list. I've been living on this 50+ acre property at Salem by myself for 9 months. So I think I have the social distancing thing down pretty well pat. By the way, I'm coming to you today because I can't visit small town America, obviously, which is one of my things. I really can't go anywhere, so I wanted to bring you into my world here at Salem. This place has been here since 1947, operating in its 74th season of competitions. Some of the greatest drivers on planet Earth have trained here for bigger and better things. Indy 500 winners like Troy Ruttman and AJ Foyt and Mario Andretti, Bobby and Al Unser, they've all cut their teeth here. The Waltrips, Daryl and Michael, Kenny Schrader, Frank Kimmel, and more in the modern era, your Tony Stewarts and Jeff Gordon have all cut their teeth here. So much cool history here at this grand old short track, and tragedy as well. 11 drivers have lost their lives competing at Salem Speedway since the inaugural event on June 22, 1947. And I want to dedicate this video to those drivers. I want to keep their memories alive and let the world know that they lived and breathed and competed here at Salem. They're important, they're still important, and I wanted to bring you a portion of their stories. And by the way, since we're not racing right now because of the COVID-19 pandemic, you know, think about it. I've thought about other ways to generate revenue, and I'm starting to think quite possibly a ghost tour, a candlelit ghost tour at night here at Salem. Maybe cover the track and pointing out some of the things that happened here in history. Now, I'm here morning, noon, and night. I don't know if you've ever been at Salem Speedway at night, but it can be a little on the spooky side. I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary yet, but I hear things all the time. And I thought maybe a ghost lit, yeah, light me up with my favorite ghost. Maybe that's coming, I don't know, but maybe a ghost walk of the grand old Salem Speedway. In the meantime, I just thought I would show you where I live, show you around and give you a close-up view of Salem Speedway, one of the most famous short tracks in the world. You know, AJ Foyt always said that if you had the guts and the skill set to get around the high banks of Salem Speedway, the hills of death, the media dubbed it way back when, if you had the skill set and the guts to get around this place, you were ready for the Indianapolis 500. This place was a measuring stick, a barometer for some of the greatest drivers on earth. Foyt would certainly be one. Let's go check out Salem Speedway. One of the most iconic and most famous short track racing tracks in America. It's been here since 1947, certainly one of the oldest operating speedways still in existence. The hills and high banks of Salem Speedway. I first came here, this was the second racetrack I ever came to as a little boy. I was 8 years old when my mother brought me here in 1968. And I'll never forget it. It was an experience that stayed with me through the years. So for me, it's really ironic that all these decades later, I'm back at grand old Salem Speedway trying to make this place go. And gosh darn, COVID-19 got in the way, but in the rolling hills of southern Indiana. This place really is sweet. Southern Indiana is one of America's best kept secrets. This place is banked like crazy, 33 degrees of banking. It's hard to tell the way we're on it now, but I'm telling you what, this place is really, really something. So construction began on Salem Speedway right as World War II ended. The 1946 season was all about the construction in time for the first event here, which was held on June 22 of 1947. And we got off to a bad start here in the first race ever held here at Salem. Open wheel sprint cars, big cars they were called back then. First race, first heat race, first lap, first turn. You're looking at it where Clay Corbett locked horns with Jack Schultz. They both sailed over the skimpy little fence back then. There's a wall around the place now. Corbett may have lived for a little bit. I think he died on the way to the hospital at New Albany. Jack Schultz was paralyzed and lived another 4 years, but eventually succumbed to his injuries. Newspaper reports from the mid-1930s show Jack Schultz winning midget auto races in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. And ironically, one such report shows that Schultz finished second in a midget race to Clay Corbett. Jack Schultz was a World War II veteran serving overseas from 1943 to 1946. Looking at turn one the other way, it was also here in 55 that ARCA driver Ray Duhigg from my hometown of Toledo, Ohio, sailed over the turn one fence in a convertible ARCA stock car, a convertible, and lost his life. That was in 1955. And on July 15th, 1951, little Charlie Ethier soared over the turn two wall. He did not survive. So here's the view right outside the front door. If you look past the grandstand there, you see turn one at Salem Speedway. And I tell you, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but every time I come out that door, not every time, but a lot of times I think to myself, wow, that's where the 1955 Indy 500 winner Bob Schweikert swerved and tumbled over the railing then. It was just a little fence that went around the place. There wasn't a cement wall, but he tumbled over turn one right there and did not survive. Just a year after he won the Indianapolis 500, the late Bob Schweikert. I don't know, I think about those things. This place is hallowed ground. And since we gave you the view outside the door, we thought we'd give you a peek inside the door. They just put that little kitchen in. I lived out of a microwave oven for, I don't know, 8 months. And just got this and a sink, and that's huge for me, a little refrigerator. Sweet. And hold on, a stave up there. And I just got this little cooker thing. This is really cool. Have you ever seen one of these? I mean, these things, when you turn it on, it heats up right now. And I mean right now. You got to be ready for it. And it cools down right now. But that's a look at the kitchen of the History Mystery Man. Just a little two-room deal. I mean, this is it. Little dresser, closet, bathroom, little bathroom, and that. I don't make my bed. I live alone. Why would I make a bed? I mean, just to mess it up. It makes no sense to me. There's my new easel, trying my hand at painting. Oh yeah. And of course, that beautiful image of Lincoln from June 3rd, 1860, about a couple of weeks after he learned he was the Republican nominee for President of the United States. That's an Alexander Hessler photo taken in Springfield. I love that image of Lincoln. And if you're brave enough, you can ride the one-wheeler. Ooh, beautiful day. Never mind the construction going on here around the corner. But worth noting that my commute in the morning is not all that bad. But while we're at it, wanted to show you the other end where the offices are. All right, a couple of really nice offices to work out of here, which is super duper handy. What on earth is this? Humans. I almost forgot what they were. Hey there.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Gosh.
This is Toby.
Toby? Hey, Toby. I'm glad Toby could come. What a beautiful dog. It's so cool to see humans. Wow. How do I know you're not aliens from outer space? How do I, okay. I'm, what? Jeff Caudell. And I'm sorry, your name is?
Rachel.
Rachel, okay. Jeff, been a long time street stock racer here at Salem Speedway. Hey, Toby. And I'm just making sure I don't get humans out here. What car number do you drive?
It's see, let me think here a second.
No, don't have to.
No,
You're making me nervous.
It's the 98.
98. What color is it?
It's blue.
Cool blue. Okay, you're good to go. All right, come on in.
Well, got you a couple of masks and some gloves too, Don. I didn't know if you had gloves.
Oh my God, this is wonderful. So I now have gloves to help fight Corona and masks.
And masks.
Mask.
Yes. My
Wow.
friend Lynn,
Your friend made these?
yes, and she's a race fan. She comes every
That's
weekend
fantastic.
when Jeff races. Her and my friend Holly.
And I've looked all over for masks. Wow. And when you ask the question, do you have any masks? They just laugh at you. At whether it's one. So I am so grateful for this. This is one of the nicest gifts I've ever received, and I mean that.
Yes. But we're bored. There's nothing to do right
well,
now.
It's good to get out.
You got to get out and do something.
I hear it. Thank you so much. Go on out and look at the new wall.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
How do you like that? Yeah.
I mean, instead of doing this.
It's straight. It looks nice, doesn't it?
Yes.
What do you think, Bubby? What do you think?
The new wall, front stretch wall at Salem Speedway, just recently poured. On June 24th, 1949, nearly 2 years to the day after the first double fatality here at Salem, Tommy Matson and Chick Barbeau were involved in a horrific crash here off turn 4. Coming to the green flag, newspaper reports from the day suggested that they did not like one another and had been feuding. They shared the front row with Matson on the pole. In fact, they called off the first start because Tommy Matson swerved high and Chick Barbeau backed off. But on the second start or restart, Chick Barbeau didn't back off. They locked wheels and somersaulted over the turn 4 wall here. Neither survived. Very sad day here on September 25th, 1994, when one of the favorites, the beloved Ray Hanna from Westchester, Ohio, lost his life. He made heavy contact here in his super stock with the turn 3 retaining wall. And of course, coming off turn 4 to come down to the main straightaway, we lost coming off turn 4, coming to the white flag, leading the race. Back in July 21 of 1990, the late, great Rich Vogler perished in a sprint car crash here off turn 4. You know, I talk about these guys. I don't want the memories to fade. I want people to know that they lived and breathed and raced here at Salem Speedway. How about it? Who wants to go on a candlelit nighttime ghost tour, ghost walk of grand old Salem Speedway? I'll lead the way. Full moon tonight at Salem Speedway. Maybe this would be a good night for the first ever ghost tour. So have you ever been at Salem Speedway at night, alone? Whew. Got the candlelight tour going, put my money where my mouth is. I'm out here walking through turns 1 and 2 on a full moon night. It's beautiful, but a little creepy. Yeah, but I think I'm onto something here, because if I'm spooked out, I'm sure the rest of you would be too. I do get some visitors around here. Scared the crap out of me. Trenton, New Jersey's Wally Campbell was a rising star in the open wheel ranks. He was the 1951 NASCAR Modified Champion and won the AAA Eastern Sprint Car Rookie of the Year title in '53. He was one of those drivers that could very well have been a household name, much like Mario Andretti or an A.J. Foyt, or pick your favorite. But it was here at Salem Speedway that on July 17th, 1954, Wally was here testing for an upcoming AAA Midwest Sprint Car race here at Salem. He was the only car here that day. He lost control of his race car here coming off turn 2 and crashed through what was a fence back then and tumbled off into what used to be a cornfield back here. It's now a golf course. Troy Ruttman was here that day helping Wally. Ruttman, the 1952 Indy 500 winner. He came to his aid, cleared the fence, but it was too late. Wally Campbell, just one day past his 28th birthday, was already gone. And it was also here at this exact same spot off turn 2 when on July 5th, 1970, Cincinnati, Ohio's Gil Hess was here competing in a USAC sprint car race. He brushed wheels with another racer. His car began to flip. He probably would have survived. He had a full cage on the car, but the roll cage failed on the way over the fence. He was killed instantly. I remember it well. I was a little boy sitting up in that grandstand. I talk about these men because I believe they deserve to be remembered, the early pioneers of the sport who got us through some of the tougher eras in open wheel and stock car racing. And you know, who else today is thinking about Wally Campbell? Maybe no one except me and now you. Up on the third level now, thought we'd give you a quick sneak peek of the High Banks Club. This is where they entertain guests. Sponsors are entertained here. Food, drink, party. It's really a lot of fun. And of course, and they get to see a lot of the guys in action. The announcers, which is typically me, works out of this room, and we got a pretty good view up there, up here. Radio there, and for whatever there. Pretty nice. A lot of short tracks don't have this sort of luxury, we'll call it. It's really super nice. Owen and Beverly Thompson, the owners of Salem Speedway, have done a remarkable job bringing this place back to life. So cool. Control tower at Salem Speedway, the upper open air deck, actually a 4th level. This is where the spotters stand to help guide their drivers around the high banks of Salem. And the best view in town. For the History Mystery Man, I'm Don Radeable. I will definitely look forward to seeing you next time. I mean, I'll take anyone right now, actually. Yeah. And without question, go Rockets. Oh yeah.